And welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another Olympic edition of Michaela Loves Gymnastics. How you guys doing? How you guys doing? I am not okay. I'm not okay whatsoever. As you all can see, your girl is at work, and your girl is tired. Your girl is exhausted because I have literally been. It feels like I've been up for like 3 days straight, but especially after this morning. After this morning, baby girl, we finally had the Olympics, and we finally had the drama, the the pageantry, everything about gymnastics that I fell in love with happened this morning at the MFing Olympic team finals. I'm talking about the ladies. Um, first of all, shout outs to ADEX. Shout out to my friend ADEX. I'm so proud to call you my friend. I'm so happy I found you in the internet world. Outside of all the stuff that you do as far as streaming and stuff, like me and you are friends. Like we talk about shit. Like shout out to my other good friend, Poor Lawyer. I know y'all hate my sister, but I don't care. That is my friend. Poor Lawyer brought me into the internet, and I love him down. I love them two down. And shout out to Ben. I love Ben. Ben is just Ben. Ben is like my controversial little brother. Like, I just live for Ben. And maybe you guys will get a part two, a recap of team finals with the three of us again. But definitely me and Adex and Port Lawyer are going to do something. Maybe tonight. Maybe tonight. So, be on the lookout. The results of the 2021 Olympic Games team finals on the women's side. Russia or the Russian Olympic Committee won. Team USA came in second. Team GB came in third. And everybody else finished where they finished at. And China finished second to last. So let's get into this conversation. We're going to start off with Vault. Vault started off so good. Grace did a solid Yurchenko double twist. I'm surprised that the Russians started off with Angelina Melnikova, who did a solid Yurchenko double twist, probably the best Yurchenko double she's ever done in her entire career. Then Vlada came and she did a okay Yurchenko double. And then the first two vaulters for America was Grace and Jordan, and they were very solid on their Yurchenko doubles. Then Lilia A. Agmarkova, I'm still working on these names, you guys, forgive me. Lilia came and she did a Rudy, and her Rudy scored like a 14-7. I'm like, oh, okay. So then here comes Simone Biles. So I'm like, okay, let's see what we're seeing. Then I see the score flash and it's at 5 point. I'm like, okay, Simone is doing her arm. I wonder why she's not doing her chong. So then in training, podium training, the term before she was going for her arm, but she bailed out and did a Yurchenko 1.5. And I'm like, oh, this is interesting. I wonder why Simone isn't doing her chong. So team finals happen. It's Simone's turn to vote. And she does her round off. She hits the back of the horse for her back handspring. And she only do 1.5 turns and bails out. And she didn't fall, but she took a huge deep landing and a big ass step forward, right? And scored a 13-7. And I panicked. I panicked. I panicked. Because I knew from that moment on, there was no way in hell Team USA was going to win. The strategy that has kept Team USA afloat is you get so far ahead on vault that nobody else can catch you no matter what else that you do. And now that Team USA isn't using that strategy, I'm scared for what's going to happen the rest. But anyhow, we're going to get to that. Getting too far ahead. I'm getting too far ahead, you guys. Bitch, we had a motherfucking Olympic Games. So, we get to bars. The Russians showed their asses on bars. They served us. They just was spectacular. So Grace goes up. Grace hit her foot, I think, on her bandolin and scored at 13 something. I'm like, oh. Then Jordan goes up and hit a great routine and scores a 14 something. And I'm like, okay, Jordan, yes. And then here comes Miss Sunisa Lee. Miss Sunisa Lee Miss Lisa Lee proved why she's going to be the Olympic bar champion, and she came up and threw that 16 15.8 routine and served and scored a 15-4. So then the competition got a lot closer. It got a lot closer and was like, okay, Team USA can catch up. So then Vlada goes first on beam and she falls on her mount. She goes backhand spring layout step out and falls on the layout step out. And I'm like, okay, it's hope. So then Grace goes up and Grace hits a very solid B routine and scores in the mid 13s. So I'm like, okay, guess it's cool. We back in it. Then here comes Angelina, and she goes up on beam, and bam, she falls once again. And then here comes Jordan. Jordan goes up and hits a very solid beam routine, and again scores in the mid 13. So I'm like, okay, per, per, per. Sunisa goes up and hit a great beam routine and scores in the low 14s, I think 14-1. I'm like, per. So then here comes Listy. Here comes Listy. Scoring one of the highest beam scores in the whole Olympics, like a 14-4 or something like that on this beam routine. And I'm like, Listy girl, why is you trying to close the door on us in America? Like, I'm rooting for you, girl, but why is you trying to close the door on us in America, girl? So then we go to floor. So first goes Grace, and Grace stepped out of bounds. So I'm like, okay, it's over. And then here comes Jordan, and Jordan steps out of bounds and falls on one of her tumbling pads, and it was definitely over. And then here comes Suni, and she does a great routine, but it was still over. And then the Russians just showed their asses and won the Olympic championships, and I'm left sitting up here gagged as I'm 39 years old, almost 40. I'm left sitting up here gagged, 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 because I just never saw this coming. There was no way. No way. Okay, before we get into my analysis, Team GB won the bronze without Becky Downey. I want to congratulate them. Big ups to Team France, Team Italy, Team Japan. What the fuck happened to you, China? Like, how the hell you go from damn third to damn second to last? Like, China, I'm more disappointed. I'm more shocked and disappointed at that than I am at anything the Americans could have done. Like, what the hell? Anyhow, anyhow, anyhow. My opinions about everything that went down. I don't know what happened to Simone. I hope she's not injured and I hope she's able to continue. But if she doesn't, I wouldn't be mad at it either. Like, I know everybody was talking about it and people get mad when gym fans say this, but Simone not being there makes the competition exciting again. I know y'all don't like to hear that, but it does. I think this happened because Team USA relied too much on Simone, and it was just too much pressure on her. They needed somebody else to do vault, and they needed somebody else to do floor. They needed Jay Carey, but she went to individual route, so they needed Michaela Skinner. It just for Simone, she needed another vault floor girl where she didn't feel like she was all by herself, dragging the team on her back. In my opinion, we don't know what happened. Hey, are gonna roll in USA Gymnastics. Baby, I don't see Tom Forster keeping his job. I could be wrong. I could be cynical. I could be jaded. I just don't see how. I don't think that yeah, I absolutely do pick. I don't think he set up circumstances where he was left with these group of girls, and I think these group of girls were the best girls at the time, but I also feel like Tom could have made things whatever. So, are y'all gonna watch the replay on NBC tonight? Because I know I'm not. I'm gonna go to sleep. I'm going to sleep. Watch out for the poor lawyer Adex and Michaela's breakdown of the Olympic team finals. And um, I don't want to lie to you guys, but be on the lookout for my breakdown of all around finals. Thank you all so much for always tuning in, for all the love and support, for the 360 people that have subscribed to this channel, for the over almost 1,300 people that have subscribed to me on my Twitter account. I thank you. I appreciate it. And guess what? Michaela loves gymnastics, but Michaela loves you too. So, um, catch your girl on these spaces and these Twitters, and I'll see you guys in the next video.